Hi there, it's Jen with Silhouette, and today I'm excited to share with you a project using our new printable adhesive craft paper. I'll be making these cute little return address labels here. Okay, let's get started. So I've already got my return address label created here, but I wanted to show you a few different shapes that I paired together to just easily create this image. So I've got this little ticket shape, kind of a little label shape, and then a couple of flowers and a little leaf, and I've just layered those together to create this label. And you can you can make any print and cut out of any shape that you have by just filling it with color using the fill color window, and you can choose different colors and layer them together like I've done with this flower here. And if you need more information about making your own print and cuts, make sure to watch the DIY print and cut video. So I won't go into detail on that, but I did want to show you just a few of the shapes that I combined to create this little return address label. So let me go ahead and zoom in on it so you can see it a little bit better. And you can see I've got my flower here, and then I've just used a couple of different fonts to type in the name and address. And I've done an internal offset on that label shape and colored it in red, so it will have a craft colored edge to it because I've got the cut line outside of that red internal line. So I just wanted to make a note also, I am going to print in color on the printable adhesive craft paper, and just as a note, the craft paper obviously won't take ink the same way that a white paper would, so you may want to test out your colors before you print. It kind of gives it a little bit of an antique look on the printing, I think, and I kind of like that, so I'm going to go with this here for my address label. So I'll just go ahead and zoom back out, and the next thing I want to do is the printable adhesive craft paper is 8.5 by 11, and I'm using my Cameo, so it's defaulting to 12 by 12. I'm just going to go up to my page window, page tools, and choose letter. And that way I can make sure that I don't print outside of the area that I have. Next, I want to make sure to turn on my registration marks. Just like you would with any print and cut, you need to turn on registration marks for this. And I'm just going to make sure I make the most of the space that I have. So I'm just making sure all of the margins are at the lowest that they'll go. Then what I want to do is fill the entire page with this shape. If I were creating, this isn't my name and address, but if it were, I would probably just print off a whole sheet of them so I could have them at hand whenever I wanted to send something out. And so I'm just going to fill the page with this little label here. So I just went to my replicate window, which looks like the flower here, and then I'll just click on fill page. It's the very bottom option. And it may take just a second to do that. There we go. And just something to notice, when you have your registration marks turned on, when you do fill page in the replicate window, it takes those registration marks into account, and it doesn't go outside those lines, so that's nice. So now we're ready to go ahead and print this out. Before I print or cut, I always check my cut settings to make sure that it's only going to cut around the very outside, because we don't want it to cut on those parts that we're printing. So I just will go to the cut style window, which is the scissors with the little red dotted line, and just make sure that it's cutting what I want. And you can see here it's just got the very outside edge set to cut. If it didn't, you could just select your shape and in your options to the right here, just choose cut edge, and that would take care of that. So now we are ready to go ahead and print. So you can just go to File, Print. There we go. And just find your printer and go ahead and print those out. Okay, so here are my printed labels, And you can see that the color shows up nicely on the Kraft, and it kind of gives it that, like I said, that antique look because of the Kraft brown undertone on the paper, which I really like. So I can go ahead and just place that on my cutting mat. Just line it up in the top corner here. And just press it down. And then I'll just go ahead and load that into my Cameo. And I've already adjusted the blade to 3. Okay, so now we're ready to cut. We can just go to the cut settings window, and I'm just going to choose adhesive backed cardstock for the cut settings. There will eventually be a Kraft cardstock setting, but it's you can use the Kraft printable Kraft paper like the adhesive back cardstock as well, and it's about the same thickness. So I found that this cut setting will work, and I'll just go ahead and adjust my blade to 3 and choose cut. So once it's done cutting, you can just go ahead and push enter to unload. You can see I've got my nice little labels cut out here, very cute. You can just peel it off just like a sticker. Here's a bit of a close-up. I think it looks really nice. And then I can just go ahead and add that to my envelope. Just right at the top. And I really love the way that looks. So I want you to not feel boxed in by printing only black on the Kraft printable Kraft adhesive paper. You can definitely print in color, and you can use it in a lot of different ways. So I've used it obviously here as an address label, but if I flip this over, you can see it's used as a seal here, and that's printed just in the black. And then I've also used it to make my own print and cut letters. So just on this simple card, added a little greeting that says hello there with my print and cut letters. So there's lots of different uses for this product, and you can also, you don't even have to print on it. You can use it just like you would adhesive backed cardstock and get that nice Kraft cardstock color with any of the cut files that you have. So that is the printable adhesive Kraft paper. I hope that you'll give it a try. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave me a comment and I will respond. Thanks for watching.